GM everyone, welcome back to another episode of covering pre-TG stablecoin. Today I'm looking at Level. They've been on our podcast before, so if you're curious about more detail about the founder's background, about what they're doing fully, check out the full episode in the link below. But anyway, today I'm gonna be doing a short video on how do you farm their product, and as well as if you want to just get coverage on their yield, this is the best way to do so. So Level, I believe, have been around for quite some time now. Yep, as you can see from Defi Llama, they just hit 180 million in TVL. They've been around since Q4 of last year, so roughly 6 to 8 months. And essentially what they're doing is they enable you to mint LVLUSD or Level USD with USDC or USDT, and then they will use those LVLUSD by lending them on a bunch of money markets and then giving the yield back to the original minters through an ERC 4626 staking mechanism. So in this case, they're also doing the dual token model, in which that you can either stake Level USD or you not stake it. And then similar with Ethena and many of the other existing stablecoins out there, the one that gets staked has some sort of restrictions, but you will be eligible for the upside yield. So they are doing the yield splitting to make sure that those who are contributing a lot more to the ecosystem are getting a lot more yield than those who just want the basic stablecoin. As you can see here from the documentation, Level USD is the one that's receiving yield, so you must stake into the vault to receive Level USD. And of course, there's a 7-day cooldown period, because similar with the other yield generating stablecoin out there, this is done to sort of preserve the liquidity threshold and all of the back office stuff. Now let's get to the fun part. So first of all, you can just buy Level USD by swapping from USDC or USDT, or you can just mint them if you don't want to swap. Now once you have your Level USD, you can directly go to the XP farm, and then you can see the best way to generate rewards. And as you can see here on this dashboard, they have anything from 10x to 60x rewards depending on the type of action that you would be doing. Obviously, if you just want the yield, which means that you have to have Level USD, and there's the 7-day cooldown period, you can just swap to Level USD and then do your stuff on Pendle, and you might get some additional upside. But I do feel that one of the most interesting way to farm this, especially if you're super bullish on the airdrop for Level token, is to provide LP liquidity on Curve on the Level USD pool. So let's say that you have 10k. Essentially this pool is roughly 50-50, so you would have 5k in Level USD and 5k in Level USD, and then by doing so your Level USD is already generating yield, but because you're providing LP on Curve, now you will get 60x the amount of points for future Level token. Obviously, if you want to go all in into just future airdrop, then you can just go to Pendle and then just go all max on the YT token. But I do feel that this method is one of the, it gives you a pretty good balance about having still some sort of yield on your stables, while the remaining 50% in Level USD helps others to trade on the Curve pool, and because of that you are rewarded with 60x in points. Of course, you have to take into account of the impermanent loss and all of that, but hey, it's just a stable pool, so it's a lot more stable. And then once you do that, you can check your earn XP here, as well as you can go to the leaderboard to see where you currently rank, and that's it. It's pretty straightforward. They've been around for 6 months. Obviously we have no guarantee when they're gonna launch their tokens and so on, but I think it's still a pretty solid farm for now. So right now the API for Level USD is at 9.06%. You can check their all-time yield performance here. Started as high as 40% plus back in Q4, but of course it's been stabilizing roughly in the, I would say, 8 to 10% in the past quarter. And then if you go to the transparency page, out of the 180 million, roughly 178 million of the market cap, around 72 is being staked. So you can count yourself the ratio, and that's why the yield is also partially higher, because not everybody has opted in to stake their Level USD. By collateral asset, you can see the majority of their reserves is in AUSDC, and they also have a couple of the restaking protocols. They worked a bit with Symbiotic before. Roughly around 3.74 million of the Symbiotic restaking rewards will be allocated to certain XP farmers when this partnership happened before. But I think if my memory serves me right, and you can check this on the podcast, this was more of their older initiative. I don't think it is currently live. Cheers.